Welcome back to Whatchya about everyone. Today we've got a very special guest, my friend, my mentor, and the technical director at the Bob Baker Marionette Theater. Welcome, Kevin Beltz.
Hello.
Yo, yo, 1 foot,
1 foot,
foot, foot,
foot, foot,
foot, foot, foot.
So Kevin, why don't you tell us how you got started at the theater?
I went and saw a screening of the animated film Animal Farm at the theater, and they paired it actually with a bunch of puppet numbers from Something to Crow About. I think they did the Luau Pig number.
Now, if I was getting married soon, I think I'd spend my honeymoon in the southern part of Honolulu,
I'd never seen anything like it. I didn't grow up with a puppet theater. I didn't grow up knowing anything about marionette. In the prop building that I've done in the past, it's all very it's small, intricate, detailed work. And I mean, you look at the puppets that Bob built and it was incredibly detailed. So when I first started, I think one of the first things that I had ever done for the theaters, there is in the circus show, there is a police clown, but it was broken and they were in the process of remounting the circus show for the first time. I made a new nose out of acrylic and put a RGB LED inside of the nose. And it was just a small thing that brought that puppet back to life. At the time, when I first opened up the back of the head of the puppet to see sort of what was going on, I didn't understand what I was looking at because everything had been gutted. There wasn't a roadmap to see what this really was originally.
Seems like a lot of your work involves improvisation, just kind of what do we have and what do I know? What skills am I bringing in? How can I solve these problems?
Well, that's how all of the puppets were originally built. There isn't a puppet in our collection that didn't involve improv in building it. It's they're just taking the materials that they had and sort of hacking them into a puppet. And I don't say hack as in sloppily making anything. It's what are these materials that I can manipulate into doing something else? Because none of those materials were ever made to be puppets. I mean, that's the fun of it. It's you'll find all these different interesting weird things in our collection. You get the impression it's he was at a dollar store somewhere, he was at a yard sale somewhere. What good is a broken colander? But Bob could see the use in that.
What has been the most difficult project that you've worked on at the theater?
Yeah, the move.
I know on your end, there was so much even learning that had to be done just to how do we build the infrastructure of the puppet?
Yeah. Usually you have a team of people who have done this before who are able to come in and do it. And that's not something that we had the luxury of. I kept on waiting for adults to show up. But I think that's how Bob worked too.
Right.
Well, as legend has it, Bob moved into his old theater, built it out in a week, and started doing shows.
So transitioning into Crowbout as technical director, what projects would you have been working on?
In doing Crowbout, we are building the theater that we're going to have for the next decade. I would say right now, the theater is 50% of what we want it to be, as far as our tech goes. Uh-huh. And we had planned to get probably to 90%. We have planned new expanded power for the stage and for all the lights. The facility has so little power. You plug in one wrong light, the whole thing comes to pieces. Our opening day at the theater, we plugged in the photo booth and everything in the back turned off.
That was my fault, by the way.
Yeah, well, I blamed you at that time, and I'm glad to know I was right.